Hello everyone, welcome to New Horizons Racing League Division 2, round 9 of our championship for these guys. We have 8 drivers here today. We've come home, Silverstone, 18 corners and should be around 26-27 laps. Circuit length of 5.8 kilometers or 3.6 miles, and it's a track that hopefully we should be seeing a lot of overtaking and definitely interesting strategies when it comes to tyres. I'm joined by Taze. How are you doing, mate? It's alright. Yeah, I think we're going to be in for a fantastic race. I mean, we've got 8 drivers here tonight, but these guys can still put on a hell of a show. Oh, Division 1, we averaged around 10 drivers through the course of the season, maximum of 15 and a minimum of 6, I believe. So for Division 2, for what it is, these guys are still doing a fantastic job. I must start off on a bit of a somber note here today, as everyone's probably well aware by now. 3-time world champion Niki Lauda did pass away a few days ago. All of our thoughts are with his family and the F1 community at this time, and in his honour, Division 2 will have a minute's silence during the formation lap. There's a rider on board with Blaze by Gaming now who's on the soft tyres, trying to get them all warmed up for his first run. I mean, it's a pretty lengthy track. I mean, as long as you take the lap at racing speed, that should get your tyres warmed up perfectly fine. Yeah, second. Yeah. It's the second longest pit lane in terms of lap time, only Bahrain being longer, because from pit entry line to pit exit line, Bahrain is the longest just because of how long that main straight is. It practically covers the whole straight. And I think Silverstone is one of those where the pit lane speed limiter, it's quite slower compared to the rest of the circuit. So yeah, it's like 37 miles an hour, which I think Russia is a comparable pit lane to Silverstone. It's rather but we'll find out when we get to it. Oh yeah, well we're coming home. It's not exactly your home, is it? You're a bit across the pond from us. Yellow flag in sector 3. The beautiful land of leprechauns, mossy green cliff sides and Guinness. Just gonna ride on board with Blaze through the course of his lap. I mean, he's still go. He seems to be still going at racing speed. He's just clipped the grass on the exit of Beckett's there. I was on the. Seems pretty tidy though. Slab King is setting the first benchmark time of a 1:29 flat. And he goes quicker by about about 1.5 seconds ish. Yeah. I just hope Collins is able to have a decent finish today. If he's got any hope of keeping his championship alive, he needs to be winning races now. I mean, looking at the standings after round 8, Blaze for Gaming on 201 points, ahead of Slab King Robo on 158. Collins is on 101. But the thing is, even if these guys keep turning up as the way they are, I mean, in Season 2 still at the moment, we're offering points to the guys in the top 10. I think the rules are going to be revamped quite significantly for Season 3. But I still think even if we have these, as long as we get guys turning up in points paying positions, then they're still going to be scoring points regardless. I mean, in terms of the constructors, Sauber are on 251 and Renault are on 228. So it's not all over between them. The Renault pair are they're pretty decent. Tadpoles can easily get fifth on his own pace, and if there's a few mistakes here and there, which would only bump him up even higher, Slavkin's always been a podium contender, but I don't think there's anything these guys can do at the minute that can stop Blazed, and Dragon on Speed's not that far behind him in terms of pace, but trying to get pole position here today will gain an extra 2 points, and then a bonus point up for grabs for fastest lap. So I'm on board with someone else. I think we'll be seeing a fair few yellow flags with guys testing around with the setups, and you'll be seeing guys running wide here and there. Yeah, that's not a bad time from Collins actually. I'm getting really paranoid with the amount of yellow flags that are coming up. Just, I mean, as Bradley gone really deep into Woodcote. 3. Still, I want to ride on board with Tadpoles, because if there's anyone who can actually mess things up for the grid, it would be him, especially if he's starting where he is at the moment. If he is able to fight off Dragon on Speed during the race, that will really help Renault's cause for the constructors. I can see him as he's going through. I think this is still his outlap, because he's not pushing nowhere near coming through cops. What I love about Silverstone, it's one of those tracks where if you track explore to hell, you can gain so much time. It is unbelievable. So I think the only person who's done that properly is Blazed. Right on board with Collins now. I think he's on a new set of tyres. See where he comes across the line. Improves. I think some of these guys might need to either change a few front wing settings, because despite the fact that Silverstone, you've got the 2 very long straights of Hangar and Wellington, but it's full of high-speed corners. I mean, Silverstone's not my favourite track, but I like to drive it just because, as I was saying about the track exploring, if you get what I mean by that is if you get your tyres on the edge of the curbs and you take very wide entries into these high-speed corners, that will save you time. Yeah, Collins getting really out of shit. Oh. Right, that's a definite yellow flag. I was trying to see if anyone's gonna. I think he's alright, as I know that Collins does have a little bit of a habit of spinning his rear tyres to the point he gets back on track and he takes someone with him, but I think that's his tyres completely done. Oh no, what the hell are you doing through there, man? Come on, mate. Pit lane's the other side. Right, that's Collins in the pits. Let's do ride aboard a Slavkin, who's definitely got time to improve. Right, so now I've just reminded myself of the tyre compounds. We've got soft, the medium, and the ice blue hard tyres. I think the softs around here, would say they're about, well, from my personal memory, about 4 or 5 laps. Nah, if you're talking 10 to 12, I think that's the medium. So I don't know. This, all I know is I think I've seen people pit on lap 4, and they've whacked on the hard tyres and they've gone to the end. I think you'd be a bit slow towards the end, but if you can save yourself nearly 30 seconds through the pit stop. Yeah, I think the harder the compound of tyre, though, it would take a little bit of time to warm up. So maybe give it about 2 or 3 laps around here, and that'll be it. They'll be in the optimum zone. Catching the exit curve. Something about tyres. I guess if you were dead careful on them as well. I mean, I think the only reason when I did the Division 1 race, my tyres got shredded were I was battling with Luke Beck for... I was trying to defend my 2nd place, but all the while I was trying to catch up to JB13, who ended up winning the Division 1 race. And what I loved about the Div 1 race, there was just battles all over the place. At the front, literally fights for the lead, fights for the podium, fights all the way through. If you haven't watched it, please do. That was a very, very fun race to drive, and it was even better to watch. If you want side-by-side action, the Division 1 race around here was fantastic. Yeah, the first Grand Prix back in 1950. I'm going to ride on board with Bradley now, try and give him a bit of airtime. The sole remaining Ferrari as his teammate is going to be absent for the next, well actually for the foreseeable future until further notice. But I'm a little bit surprised that Tom's left it, Tom in the Red Bull, who's left it this late to actually come out. I mean, he should have been anyway. It's the original plan for me and him as a driver pairing. I thought we were going to be quite strong. The races that he has finished in, respectively, he's like, the thing is, I know he can do it. His pace is there. It's just these tiny little mistakes that, like, in all fairness, they are really small mistakes, but they end up so bad for him. And half the time they end up affecting the other people around him, because whenever he seems to crash, he doesn't go alone. We're heading into the last 3 minutes now. I wonder how fast everyone's going to be going. Oh yeah, I think he'd be kicking himself with every mistake he's made so far. But I think he's still keeping within a shout of the top 3. I'm just going to have a look at the standings again. I mean, the closest person to Collins in the standings at the minute is Dragon on Speed, who's 26 points adrift of him. this is round 9 now. We've got a 15 race calendar for these lot, and if they do, Collins just informed me that his lap's been invalidated, so he's going to be rushing to get back to the pits. I don't think going wide. No, if he is, it's not going to come to anything. I think he's going to be coming back into the pits. So we're on board with our AWOL resident, Mr. Tom, in the Red Bull. Let's see what he can do. He's been away that long, I can't even remember what his pace is like. If this lap's anything to be valid by, let's see what he does. Sick, not bad. Oh yeah, it's gonna... if it is like almost a 1 minute 30, that might be Collins' qualifying over. Well, the thing is, even if Slav King has messed up his current run, he's got another lap. Done. I don't understand this. Why is I think that's a really respectable time of Collins, in all fairness. And I think Blaze will end up getting pole here today, but the gap between Collins and Slav, it's almost a second between them. I'm a little bit surprised that the Dragon, unless he is going to go faster, how is that far down? It's still pretty tidy. The DRS Open now coming down into Stowe. Be quick, because I'll be doing the final rundown in a moment. Still fourth. It's Radenwood and Fan Out coming through club now. He's making his way through the final corner. No. I think Bradley's just going to be happy to round off the grid. It's still fair play to him, he does turn up. I appreciate him taking his time out to race with us, and I hope he's having fun. And even the thing is, he doesn't make that many mistakes himself, as he still stays 8th, but there's still points up here for grabs if there's crashes in front of him, which is how he's been getting a lot of Ferrari's points lately. Still, that is qualifying. Blaze by Gaming does get the bonus 2 points for his pole position for Sauber, ahead of Collins in second place for Mercedes. Slav King in Renault starts 3rd. Dragon on Speed will start 4th for Sauber. Tadpoles, driving for Renault, will start 5th. And Tom, on his return after a slight absence, starts 6th for Aston Martin Red Bull. AG30, Collins' teammates in Mercedes, starts 7th. And Bradley in Ferrari rounding off the grid in 8th place. We'll see you guys in the race, and we will be having a 1 minute silence.